I'm here in Grove Park, Rayleigh, where the play area has seen some impressive changes in the past few months. Now you can see the park just behind me, which is where I met with local mum Lauren McDermott and her daughter Cherry. Last year Lauren launched a petition appealing to Rochford Council for investment in the park, and finally 9 months later it all proved successful.
So we moved here July 2 years ago. We'd come from Malden, so we were used to having really nice parks. And then obviously lockdown happened, and so our only bit of pleasure was leaving the house once a day. And this was our local park, and it wasn't very great. Cherry had spent 5 minutes in here and then she was ready to go home. So I was hoping to come to the park so she could meet other children, but there was never anybody here. So yeah, that's why I started the petition. Cherry started at the local nursery, so I had the backing of other mums, and they'd said that the park had been this way for over 30 years. I had an email from Mark Francois and he passed it over to someone who contacted me once, but she kind of fobbed me off with COVID as the excuse. Once the ball got rolling, they did do it pretty quickly. I'm so happy with what they've done in the time they've done it, and all the equipment's great. But for such a big space, there could just be maybe a couple of benches for families to enjoy it for a bit longer, because I've seen people sitting on the floor eating, and you know, there's plenty of space. The one bench there is still broken. So yeah, I don't want to complain, but in terms of every day and weekends, we're happy to come here, go for a walk in the woods, and then the kids can play in this park, so we will be spending so much more time here.
Childminder Marie Smell grew up in Rayleigh, and on a visit to the new play area with her children Maddie and Josh, she told me what the park was like for her when she was young.
Very basic, very run down, not half the amount of stuff you would expect from just a normal playground. Really not somewhere that I would want to bring my children. I remember coming here when I was younger, but it was more like I was a teenager just hanging about. We weren't making use of the equipment appropriately. It really wasn't my first thought, sort of, from growing up here to then want to bring my own children. Not a park I would want to visit, really.
What was your initial reaction to seeing all of the upgrades?
Oh, just complete transformation. It's so much better. The colours, much more enticing. And immediately thought, I need to bring the children down here now. Like, it's so much better. So definitely one to add to our list now, because I can bring like the real little ones for the baby swing. The sort of 3 and 4 year olds can go on most of the equipment by themselves. There's a real different variety.
So there you have it. What might seem like a small feat to some will actually make a big impact on many local families.
We say, we love the park.
I love the park.